Hey, magicians. I never do this, but word of warning, or at least a piece of advice, anyways. I know I'm not anybody. I have no Milburn Christopher Award, but we all know the Merlin Awards. Okay? That's what you really want. At any rate, just a piece of advice, because this came up and it's been irking me just a little bit. And, I've been drinking, so I'll share it with you. Here's the thing. I'm walking with a magician, a really good magician. We're walking from his house to the bar, and we're talking about a place we both work, and they're asking for more material. This is all about material, and they need a second show out of us. And he's like, "Oh man, I guess I got to break out the straitjacket." I'm thinking about breaking out the straitjacket, and it kind of broke my heart, because he's a talented magician with an unbelievable repertoire of stuff. And I thought, well, why would you pick the straitjacket? So many people are doing it. Everybody does it. And, it's ease of use, obviously, right? It's sure to kill. It's going to happen. It packs small. It plays big. It eats up a lot of time. Of course, it's why a lot of people, it's why people do so many things that they do. At any rate, here's a bit of warning, I guess, about this kind of thing. Doing material that everybody else does. I've been thinking about it quite a bit since that interaction. And a story, I suppose, that is maybe instructional for you. You can throw this video in the garbage, you can toss it, I don't care. A long time ago, in the 90s, I was like 24 or 5, I suppose, and Canada had a TV show called Comedy Club 54. It was sort of our answer to Evening at the Improv. I think it actually ran longer than Evening at the Improv, in fact. At any rate, the show, it was a big deal, and I was 24, and I didn't have any national TV. God damn, I wanted to get on that show, and I managed to get on it. I got on the show, and I thought, oh, fuck, so what do? I do the straitjacket, and I do the head chopper. Of all things, the Lester Lake head chopper. And it killed, of course, and I was so happy. The audience laughed at all the right places. The spot was killer. It was a solid thing. And I thought, oh man, I'm going to get all sorts of work out of this. It's a national TV show. How am I not going to do well out of this? And at the time, I was working for Yuck Yucks, which was, I believe, the largest chain of comedy clubs in the world. It may still be. I'm sure Breslin will give me some shit if I say it's not. Anyway, it is. The point is that I was so happy with that spot. It aired on a Sunday, and on the Tuesday, I went into head office to get my check for the gigs the week before. This is a long time ago for you younger guys. We used to go up the stairs to head office when it was at Yorkville, and you'd make a left, and there's Ann May's desk, and there's Evan Edelman's desk, and there's Ed Smeals, and the filing cabinet. And you'd open up the file, and you'd find your name, and you'd pull out your check. But I thought, oh man, I know the bookers watch Club 54, and I thought, they're going to see that I killed. I'll get more work, and maybe they'll headline me or something. I don't know. At any rate, I walk in there, and Evan Edelman is the first guy. He's like, saw you on 54, and I'm like, fuck yes, this is where it starts. And he's like, nice to see you, Dave Mary. And it was so heartbreaking. So if you don't know, Dave Mary is a hilarious comedy magician from Toronto. He did the straitjacket. He did it in his own way, and he had funny original lines for it. Dave is also a unbelievably good sleight of hand magician too. He doesn't get enough credit for his skill as a sleight of hand magician, but trust me, the guy's a baller, and he's hilarious. No one writes one-liners better than Dave. Anyways, in that instant, as soon as Evan said, "Oh man, nice to see you, Dave Mary," I knew instantly, what a waste of that TV stuff, because all I was ever going to be in the eyes of Evan and anyone else at Yucks was the other day. I'll get work, but it'll be, when Dave's not available. He's a guy in my market. I knew he was doing the straitjacket. Why the fuck did I do that? Why would I do that? Why? I'm an idiot. It was a stupid young man thing to do. Anyways, I got nothing out of it, of course. And, I learned a valuable lesson. So the next time I worked hard to get the show a couple years later, the way the show worked was you would tape 30 minutes and they would air maybe your best 8 But this time I came at it a different way. And the second time out, I did material that was my own. And I front ended it. I intentionally did this thing with a car battery and a light bulb and a thing with a big cigarette. Uh, and, the spot was very good. As my friend Bill Davern always says, don't worry about TV. This is, again, the 90s. Don't worry about doing a TV spot. Just, if the audience doesn't like it, the laugh track will get it. And God damn, that was true. At any rate, the spot was mediocre. It was okay, but I got way more work out of that. I front ended the thing. I knew the material that I wanted to get on did get on. The rest of the half hour spot that they taped, I just did direct, knowing full well it wouldn't get on. And me and Wes Saharic, a bunch of buddies, sat around the Court Jester bar in Toronto, coming up with that spot with the big cigarette and the lines and the car battery, and it was just like, it was to do something different, and it was always hammered into me to do different material. Always hammered into me to do different material. But I guess I just never listened. I was only in my 20s. What did I know? And I still fall into the trap now sometimes, to be honest. But I thought the PSA is important. Yeah, of course, there's things that are easy to do and that'll kill and they fill time, but you don't want to be somebody else. You certainly don't want to be a replica of somebody else, especially if they're in the market and if they're in your market and they're a known commodity. So, yeah, it's heartbreaking to think that I frittered away a national TV spot for absolutely nothing. And the goddamn straight jacket and the head chopper of all bloody things. At any rate, I fear now that the demands of the magicians, especially on cruise ships and other things, are such that, people are scrambling to come up with stage material. That's why you see a lot of close-up on stage right now, because people don't develop stand-up material as much as they once did. At any rate, I just think it's worth the effort to do your own stuff. If you can come up with something that's original and different, probably worth doing, even if it doesn't kill like as much. I always make mention of my agent, my cruise agent, one of the best in the business and an old dear friend. And he often says, if a magician sends me a tape and they produce a bowling ball, if they make it snow, if they cut a rope in two or they get out of a straitjacket, I don't want to see their tape. Well, that's the lesson. Anyways, I just wanted to share that thought because that whole yuck story coming in, hey, Dave Mary, it taught me a valuable lesson. Didn't learn it for a long time. I still kept screwing up. But there really is something to be said about that, man. Like, don't, if you can do something of your own, you're better off doing it. Anyways, thoughts from a worker. Listen, again, I know I got no Milbourne Christopher Award. I've not published any of my material. Hardly nobody knows me. I grind it out on cruise ships on my leather ass flying around. But I have been in this business for 33 years, and I think I've learned a few things, especially coming up in comedy clubs. And you hear it all the time. But, man, the more of yourself you can be, the better. The closer to the bone of who you are, man, it's probably better. It's probably better. And I think it is. You'll probably work as much or more. So that's my thoughts from day drinking. And, I'm going to go have a smoke. I can't smoke in the house anymore. Imagine that. So there it is, magicians. Here's my 2 cents at 8 minutes and 47 seconds of me babbling. But take it for what it is or delete this thing. I don't care anymore. I don't care. Behold my fields of fucks, for it is barren. Take it or leave it, babies. I'll see you on the page. Hopefully somewhere out at some bar somewhere. See you later.